can be used at there also. Use it for drinking water supply. As you know, the water table goes down, the shallow hand pumps, wells, bore wells, or duct wells, they go dry due to mining activities. So the surplus water can be used to provide drinking water supply to nearby villages, communities after proper treatment. Use it for groundwater recharge. Yes. This excess water can be stored in the already existing village ponds or some surface reservoirs. Some additional recharge structures may be installed, like recharge shafts. Augmented water resources, water levels in this area. So so water level will rise to some extent. Irrigation usage for irrigation purpose. This water can be supplied by a properly laid pipeline for irrigation purposes, agriculture and horticulture development. So, groundwater withdrawal for agriculture irrigation purpose in that area will be reduced by providing this excess water. Yes. Now, regulatory bodies. What are the main regulatory bodies? Starting from Indian Bureau of Mines, Ministry of Coal. Atomic Mineral Directorate for Exploration and Research, state governments, then state groundwater authority, just a second, sorry. Then again, Central Groundwater Authority and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Here, nowadays generally mine blocks or leases are auctioned, and after successful bidding, a letter of intent is given to project proponent for lease to be. There are some basic conditions. Approved mining plan from the competent authority. Competent authority may be IBM if it is major minerals, Ministry of Coal in case of coal mining, Atomic Mineral Direct for rate for radioactive, or you can say the atomic minerals, the state governments if minor minerals are concerned. So, and then environmental clearance and bank guarantee, these three conditions are there. So for approved mining plan, we approach the competent authority. So in mining plan, some basic technical requirements are given, like geology of area, exploration, mining, that is underground or open mining, blasting parameters, mine drainage, special in this case. That is depth of working, depth of groundwater level, quality and quantity of water that we to encounter, pumping arrangements, place of discharge, and detailed hydrological report. The stacking of mineral rejects, use of mineral either for buyers or captive consumption, mineral processing, environmental management, further divided into baseline information about land use, water, flora, fauna, human settlements, etc. Environmental impact assessment form of mining and beneficiation on environment, environmental management plan, that is a time-bound action plan, and progressive mine closure plan. So after an approved mining plan, we approach to Minister of Environment and Forest for the terms of reference, and terms of reference clearly indicating that details about uh, proper depth of working in every 5-year planning, and depth of groundwater level in the area should be indicated. If there is groundwater table intersection, a detailed hydrogeological study to be carried out, clearly mentioning the water seepage calculation, quantity of water coming into mine pit, either it is groundwater or surface water, pumping arrangements, proper management plan of surface water, and further seepage quantity up to the end of mine. So detailed site visit geological studies carried out for that purpose. Groundwater levels are monitored in the surrounding area. If it is proposed mine, then there are definitely no existing observation or key wells or piezometers. So existing wells are taken into account. So existing duct wells, bore wells, open hand pumps are monitored. Some water quality samples are also taken from the area. Uh, Basic groundwater techniques for this hydrogeological study are some installation of monitoring wells if possible in advance, which predict about the hydrogeological conditions at mine area, groundwater monitoring systems in core and buffer zones, some dedicated observation wells or some other source of groundwater system. Groundwater modeling, you know, they are numerical methods basically to assess the life flow rates and distance of or the radius of influence when we pump the groundwater from mine pit. and potentiality of these impacts. Yes, few major water modeling softwares are Visual Mod Flow, Groundwater Modeling System, GMS, Groundwater Flow, Groundwater Vistas, and some basic data is required for groundwater modeling, that are maps, cross sections, fence diagrams. Cross maps generate topographical, geological data on wells, location of wells, depth, diameter, type of well, static and pumping groundwater level, aquifer. For data we can say that is confined or unconfined aquifer or artesian, thickness of the aquifer, major hydraulic characteristics which we have discussed, transmissivity, storage, storativity, permeability, geological data, that is soil texture, soil texture rates, geophysical climatic data is precipitation, evapotranspiration, evaporation, surface water if there are some natural surface water courses in the surrounding area, then quality of water, runoff distribution, etc. These are considered. Some field testers also carried out borehole permeability tests, that rising and falling head test, slug test is called, soil infiltration test, single or double ring infiltrometer for permeability values, pumping test for transmissivity and storage coefficient of soil and rocks. Pumping test. You can say pumping test is basically it is a field experiment in which a well is pumped at a controlled rate and water level response, or you can say the drawdown, is measured in one or more surrounding observation wells. And if these observation wells are not available, the water level variations in pumped well are also monitored, and the recovery values are considered for capability of aquifer. And response data from these pumping tests are used for for hydraulic properties, that are transmissivity and storage coefficient. And after this detailed hydrogeological study, we submit the application. Either a central groundwater board online system is now in some states, state rules, state authorities are there, like Telangana. Recently Punjab, Haryana, UP also started state rules for this groundwater or dewatering NOC. So if in case of Central Groundwater Authority, we submit the report and with the detailed report and other documents. First round scrutiny is done at the state level, and after finalization from the state, it is forwarded to Central Groundwater Authority, Delhi. One round of scrutiny is also there, and after presentation on project proposal and mine dewatering, approval for NOC for mine dewatering is they give NOC for mine dewatering, and this type of NOC is coming out basically. This validity is here mentioned. This is an old NOC, so it is valid for 3 years. But now, in mining cases, whether it is first time or renewal, validity is 2 years only from the date of issuing. Here you can see water abstraction permitted. This is fresh water. Fresh water means this is basically they have asked for the drinking water only. So this is 20 meter cube per day, and this is dewatering. This is basically mine seepage. Mine seepage basically Central Groundwater Authority gives permission for groundwater seepage only, but in calculation they ask for surface water entering in the mine or what, and as it is available for extra water that is available for use. So they basically ask for the details how much surface water is coming into mine, but they give permission for groundwater seepage only. As you can see, there is abstraction for fresh water as well as for seepage. You can see abstraction structures are two. One is bore well, that is for fresh water, and for dewatering, they have given mining pit. Means they are using in-pit sump method. Water is collected in lower benches or sump, and then it is being pumped out. And yes, piezometers, number of piezometers are given. You can see two piezometers. If water withdrawal is more than 500 meter cube per day or KLD, generally two piezometers are necessary. One with digital water level recorder, and other is digital water level recorder with telemetry system, for which password and account details to be shared with Central Groundwater Authority. And the conditions given NOC for mine dewatering, some conditions are there to be complied in the next 1 year after compliance report is to be submitted. These conditions are basically the water available from dewatering operations should properly treated and gainfully utilized. No water should be wasted in any way. Construction of observation wells or piezometers along the periphery or within premises. These are the observation wells or piezometers within the mining boundary. So for this condition is at least two piezometers must be there, one in upstream and one in downstream across the groundwater flow direction. If you are withdrawing water from other bore wells, definitely you must install some more piezometers near the bore well and one or two bore well on other different directions. Apart from that, these piezometers in the mining area, some more observation wells or you can say existing bore wells or dud wells to be selected for monitoring groundwater level for for buffer zone, that is 5 kilometer or 10 kilometer buffer zone as per the requirement. One more condition that is changed in the recent notification, that is that published on 24 September 2020 by Central Groundwater Authority, that in case of coal mining and some other metal ore minings, when there is chances of contamination due to some heavy metals and other contaminants, advanced dewatering technology must be used. Means perimeter dewatering walls around the mining pit should be used in case of in-pit pumping. And water quality of mine seepage and mine discharge, whether you are discharging the surface water bodies or supplying to some other purpose, water quality should be monitored for, sorry, water quality should be monitored for that water. Uh, and recent advances in the current notification that all mining projects, whether projects are in safe, semi-critical and critical assessment, they have to pay groundwater abstraction charges, while over-exploited area, groundwater restoration charges are to be paid. And comprehensive hydrological report is to be prepared by accredited consultant by NABET or CWA if water withdrawal requirement is more than 10 TLD. So this is all about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kumkum Misra, for such a nice talk on water management in the mining industry, dewatering, etc. So now I invite panelists for a discussion, and also invite participants if they have any question related to the talk. Any panelist want to add something? Dr. Patta Joshi, sir. Dr. P.K. Patta Joshi, sir. Can yeah.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
You want to add something? You want to add something for the water management in mines, etc.?
No, nothing specific. But one line I can add for the knowledge of the participants, that mostly the surface runoff of the mining and mining dust contaminations are the major threat for mining industry. Mostly the local water resources, nearby water resources are being contaminated by the mining dust, which makes to the nearby water polluted.
Okay.
And that is being consumed by the nearby villagers.
Right.
Sir, but recently MOFCC has directed very clearly that no water, either it is from activated mining area or the entire boundary or entire mileage should be go beyond the mining boundary. So mining authorities have to construct garland drains along with silting tank or ponds throughout the mining boundary.
Yes, they take care during the environmental impact assessment study also.
Yeah.
All measures are being taken care of by the mining industry also. No doubt on this. In spite of this, since the mining areas are very remote situated in remote locations, and the nearby water resources are the only water resource for the local habitats, local people, local community. Once they get contaminated by any means, either by surface runoff or by discharge or by seepage, their livelihood is being affected. That is the major threat. Irrespective of all legislations, mining industry also take care of as a part of their CSR activity. Not as a CSR activity, we can say better, they take care of with respect to the CER, corporate environmental responsibility.
Yes,
So
accepted.
mostly mining industry focuses towards the availability of the water, drinking water, potable water, or treated water facility to the local community, so to say the tribal people. Tribal, I mean to say that mostly in eastern part of India, the mining industries are very surrounded by this tribal community. And one example I can give that the chromite mines in Odisha, mostly in the Sukinda area, the nearby surface water was being contaminated by the chromite dust, and hexavalent chromium was a major threat. Of course, as of now, this situation does not exist, and that is the major threat as far as water pollution, water seepage, water discharge of the mining industry is concerned. And the legislations are more stringent nowadays, of course. And the local people are not so acquainted about this environmental awareness, or they don't have their own water treatment facility at their end. So in view of this, mining industry needs to take attention, to which your slides at the last scenes have well illustrated. Thank you, madam. Thanks for the nice delivery.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for wonderful additional information on the mine water. Any other participant, if they have any question related to the session, or any panelist want to add something, or some want to some discussion on this, you are most welcome. Ruchi, you have any question? Ruchi Gyamlani.
Not yet, sir.
Okay, okay. Any other?
It was a very
Sir,
informative session, sir.
Okay.
राठौर साहब,
जी sir.
this side KK Sinha.
जी sir. जी sir.
Sir, I would like to know much about the some more clarification about the management of surface runoff, because in some of the, suppose if we have to maintain zero liquid discharge,
Yeah.
so how the surface runoff can be managed?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Sir, actually, if groundwater seepage is there, if there is some interlinked projects, subsequent water processing plants, basically mine surplus water can be transferred to those facilities. But if in excess their water, definitely we have to utilize for rainfall purposes. If we don't want to, then initial stages it is not possible, because mining are small, boundaries are small. But in later development stages, where there are large pits, these water can be stored in as well. Natural recharge in the water, and basically these water is stored one side and mining is being carried out. But zero liquid discharge is not possible if there is excess water. Some you have to treat and basically utilize for some purpose, either it is groundwater recharge and some other.
Actually, little bit I am focusing about the some beneficiation plan associated with the mining.
It depends upon the requirement, basically.
Yeah.
If you can utilize all the water, if there is surplus water, you definitely you have to transfer, you have to supply for other sectors also.
So here
Just
I
water
want to
treatment,
add,
replacement is different.
yeah, I want to add something for generally, especially for any, like not only mining industry or this mineral beneficiation or coal mining, etc. Generally is only related to your effluent generated from the unit, either manufacturing or infrastructure or anything developmental activity, which is means, so when we are saying that generally zero liquid discharge, it is pertaining to the effluent or sewage generated from the anthropogenic activity or manufacturing activity or developmental activity. If we are taking this dewatering from us from the seepage, etc., then this may considered as a generation of water, but this water is not effluent. The second thing, if we are talking about the runoff is not accounted in ZLD, or we can say not accounted for waste water. So runoff water is you have to manage under rainwater recharging, rainwater harvesting, artificial recharging system. So these two things, runoff and ZLD, are very different. Under ZLD, surface runoff or rainwater is not to be utilized, not to be considered. You have to take care both separately. And in case when manufacturing entities are there, then we should have to take care that our effluent should not mix with the surface runoff. So this is requirement as per the guideline from the MFCC apex body under NPA Act 1986. We have to maintain ZLD also. We have to do the rainwater harvesting. We have to also go for rainwater recharging, because recharging is different and harvesting is different. In case of harvesting, we have to use that water for some other purposes after harvesting the rainwater. In case of surface runoff, this surface runoff basically it is not counted under the ZLD system. I think this is you get my point.
Yeah, thanks.
Sinha sir.
Thank you, Rathore sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Any other question from the participant, please? Okay, I think no more questions. Thank you very much.
Sir, I would like to say if any participant any doubt or confusion, he or she may write to Dr. Rathore and further clarification.
Yeah, of course. This is announcement. If you have any question for the further also, and announcement is for we are also going to celebrate Environment Day. We have already circulated in WhatsApp groups, etc. You can participate from your side for participant certificate also. What type of things in environment? We have a quiz. So by filling the quiz, you can participate in that and get certificate. Second is we are having the session on this type of webinar series on environment protection and public health at on every Sunday at the same time on the same platform, same meeting ID, same type of password will work. And if you have any question, not for only today or next day, you can ask any question anytime on the number, email, etc. provided already. Also, you can contact us by web mail on Account Services website is also there. You can click on contact us immediately. You can fill your detail. The question will come in to us immediately. We'll reply. For this session also, you can ask question later on also, today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or related to the environmental consultancy or management of anything in your industry, in your means. Also, you can call us for any training services for the students, for the group, for the workers, employees, anything, whatever you want in the field of environment, we are ready to provide. So this is announcement. And also I thank to all the panelists, technical advisors, session coach, and all the participant, because because time is very precious nowadays. If you are sparing time with someone, that means you are having the importance of that entity. So if you are here, that means you feel that environment is important. For that purpose only you are here. So thank you very much all the participants and all panelists and technical advisors. Thank you, Dr. Kumkum Misra, for
Thank you.
giving such nice talk on the water management in mining industry or in the mines, etc. Different type of aspect you have covered nicely. And also you have enlightened that how we can go for no objection certificate from CGWA when we are going for dewatering, because this is requirement from the ministry, from the apex body. As we know, there are three type of systems, so we need to follow as per the requirement, either in safe, critical, or over exploited. So in that case, we have to go with the guidelines, with the some type of notification. And if you feel if anything need to cover, then you can ask us. We will arrange some other session on different topic, whatever you feel in the field of environment and environment protection and related to public health. So thanks a lot for being here. We'll meet next Sunday at the same platform with the same link with some new title, that is Environmental Law, Indian and International Perspective. The speaker will be from GLA University, Madura, Dr. Professor Omkarnath Tiwari ji. So he will going to speak on environmental law internationally and Indian. So if you have interest in environmental law, then you just have to join at the same time, same platform with this login ID. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Now I am ending the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much.